Good morning. Thank you for the invitation to the roundtable. My name is Etienne Tellier, and I am the COO of Econem. Econem is a French startup that uses 3D technologies to digitally preserve heritage at risk. Our whole purpose is to create digital replicas of sites that are threatened. To do that, we use different technologies. We use drones that are very agile, that can take thousands of pictures really quickly. And then we process this big volume of photographs, of images, using our computing stations, and we turn this big data set of images into 3D models. This process is called photogrammetry. And today we are able to produce 3D models that are very photorealistic and very accurate, with resolutions that can be better than the millimeter. This is an example of our work. It is a 3D model of Messainak in Afghanistan. So Messainak is an archaeological site with many remains of a Buddhist civilization, the Kushan civilization. And unfortunately, this archaeological site will disappear because of a mining facility that will come into operation in the coming years. So we went there, we scanned the whole site, and we produced this 3D model that will allow scientists to study the site even after its disappearance. Today, we have worked in 30 countries and we have digitized over 200 sites, including many sites in the Middle East, like Aleppo and Palmyra in Syria, Mosul in Iraq, Leptis Magna in Libya. We have also worked on sites that are not threatened or very less threatened, like Mont Saint-Michel in France and Pompeii in Italy. Over the years, our work has interested more and more large museums. It all started in 2016 when the RMN Grand Palais organized an exhibition about heritage sites that are threatened. We were in 2016, shortly after the dramatic destructions that took place in Palmyra and in Mosul. And this exhibit was decided as a reaction to these destructions. It was produced by the RMN Grand Palais under the scientific direction of the Louvre. And these two institutions, so here it is a trailer of this exhibition. These two institutions asked us to use our 3D models of several heritage sites, including the Crac des Chevaliers, which you can see here, Khorsabad in Iraq, and Palmyra and the Umayyad Mosque in Syria. So we had worked on all of these 4 sites. We had 3D models of them, and these two institutions asked us to use them to create immersive contents that were displayed in the exhibition. So we actually produced very large-scale videos, computer-generated videos, that were projected onto the walls of one of the galleries of Le Grand Palais. So it created a very immersive effect because visitors were surrounded by very large-scale videos and had the feeling to be immersed in the sites. This exhibit also displayed several artifacts that were lent by the Louvre, so artifacts that came from the historical sites, the 4 historical sites. So there was a dialogue between these artifacts displayed in the middle of the room and the large-scale videos that created a digital landscape around the visitors. So the exhibition was a landmark because it was one of the first immersive exhibitions in France and I believe in Europe. And it also focused on a burning issue, the issue of heritage sites at risk. It was really successful. It drew around 60,000 visitors. So we can gather several insights from the attendance. So There were 59,000 visitors in 3 weeks. There were many newcomers, meaning people who had never come to the Grand Palais before and who came there specifically to see this exhibition, with 27% of newcomers compared to an average of 18% usually for the exhibitions of this museum. And there were many young people, with 27% of the visitors who were under 18 years old. So we can gather from these numbers that immersive exhibitions are popular and that they are a tool to democratize culture, to draw a new kind of public to museums. Since then, we have contributed to a number of immersive exhibitions, including Age-Old Cities that was produced by the Institut du Monde Arabe, the Arab World Institute. This exhibition was also about the topic of heritage sites at risk, and it focused on the sites of Palmyra, Aleppo, Mosul, and Leptis Magna in Libya. So it presented several immersive rooms with the same approach, with very large scale videos that gave this immersive effect. And it also proposed at the end of the exhibition a VR corner produced by our partner Ubisoft, the French video game company. So we transmitted our 3D models to Ubisoft, and they created this VR experience from the 3D models. It was a successful exhibition with 127,000 visitors in 4 months. So what we can also gather from this exhibition is that I believe it reached an interesting equilibrium between a sensory experience and an informative experience. So immersive exhibitions are successful and popular, but sometimes one of the feedbacks we can hear from people is that they are a little light in terms of information, in terms of cultural mediation. And here with Age-Old Cities, the Arab World Institute really wanted to create an immersive experience and also to give information, cultural mediation about the sites. So next to the big immersive rooms where there were large-scale videos, there were also smaller rooms where focuses were displayed. In each room, there was a focus on one specific topic. For example, there was a focus on Mosul and the coexistence, a peaceful coexistence between many different communities in Mosul before the armed conflict there. There was also a topic on, for example, the mausoleum of Nabi Yunus in Mosul. So after the immersive experience in this very large room, people could go a little further and learn information thanks to the smaller rooms with topics being covered. So I think this was really interesting, an interesting trade-off between two different approaches. And I believe this trade-off between proposing an immersive experience and a sensory experience is one of the challenges that immersive exhibitions face. And there is a whole new visual grammar to explore and to invent in order to address this challenge. So thank you very much for your time, and talk to you soon during the Q&A session.